there was no sound. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Okay. So yeah, very good afternoon, everybody. Thanks a lot for checking in, and thanks for showing an interest in what I'm trying to do here. This won't be a huge session on playing radio. It's literally, I'm trying to get this Wellbrook Loop to work in the way that I think it should. So anyway, let me start off just by giving you a bit of an overview of my working conditions. So if I just drag this there, you should see that. And now if I just make my webcam a little bit smaller, so that I'm not taking up such a huge amount of the screen. There you go. Okay, so I live in a normal house, in a normal street with normal neighbours. So therefore, I'm always compromised about the antennas that I can have. I'll show you some better pictures in a second. But one of the aerials that we're going to be looking at is a long dipole, which is for 40 metres, and then it's also got loading coils, which gives me 80 metres. So let me just play this bit of a video that I've compiled over the last few days for you. So you're going to see the Wellbrook Loop. So this is at kind of head height. That's the model number of it. And the Cobwebb is on a pneumatic mast, which is about 10 metres high. It's at full height. This was filmed yesterday when it was nice and sunny. That'll do 10 through 20 metres, and then the dipole antenna that I've just showed you an image of is actually on the apex of the house on a fiberglass pole, and literally it's 10 metres each way. This is my working conditions in the shack. I'm using the Flex 6300. This is the screen that you're going to be seeing in a minute, and the loop is connected to the transverter port, which is the way that Flex recommend that you do this. So there you go. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background, just so that you know what you're looking at. And now, so this is the this is 20 meters. Okay, so just pointing out a few things on the screen. So this is your VFO. So we're on 20 meters, and up here we're on antenna 2. It's in blue, which signifies that's the receive antenna, and the one in red is the transmit antenna. So this obviously is signal strength. This is in dBm, and I can change that to give an S point reading. Okay. So what I'm hoping from this session is that there are people out there that can literally say, try this mic, press this button, turn this down, turn that up. But let me just show you a few other things. So moving the mouse across to the right hand side, this is the automatic gain control. Okay, this is the volume. I'm hoping that you're hearing the Flex okay. When I talk, it automatically ducks down, so it's not overpowering. But if I stop talking, hopefully you should hear some of these transmissions. So let's just click on transmission and stop talking. Okay, so you can hear that hopefully. Obviously, I can alter the volume. I'm just reading some of the notes. So anyway, this is on the Cobwebb at the moment for 20 meters. So to give you an example, if I switch now to the Wellbrook Loop. Okay, so this is the question that I've got. To me, what that's done is it's just attenuated everything. Okay, it's attenuated the noise clearly, because you can see here we're down to about minus 122 dBm, okay, in terms of the noise floor. If we flick back to the Cobwebb, it will go up. So it's now probably around about 98 dBm. But equally, it's attenuated the signals as well. This is the thing that I'm kind of sketchy on, because to me, the Wellbrook Loop is a way of reducing your noise, your received noise, but not necessarily reducing the strength of the received signal. So I was hoping that these received signals that you're seeing on the scope at the moment, I was hoping that they would stay where they are. I'll just show you again by switching over to the loop, but the noise floor would drop. But as you can see, the signals kind of just disappear. Okay, now then, There are a few things, and it's very similar across different bands. I'll show you 40 meters and 80 meters in a second. But if I do this, let me just show you this, okay? So we have got RF gain. Now, I think that's about 20 dB. So if I turn on the RF gain now, those signals come up, which is great. And if I now go back to antenna 2, the Cobweb, again, they're very strong. If I turn off the RF gain, it doesn't really make a hell of a lot of difference, to be honest. So the RF gain seems to make a big difference when we're receiving through the Wellbrook Loop. So again, if I go back to the Wellbrook, RF gain is actually off. Let's turn it on. Okay, so, you know, I'm kind of saying I don't understand whether the Wellbrook Loop is actually doing what it should. I don't know. Some people would say, yep, that's exactly how it should look. So let's just go back. Let's turn off the RF gain. Let's go back to antenna 2. And let's now focus on a very weak signal. Okay, I'm just going to turn my headphones on so I can hear it. Okay, well that's constant, so let's just stick with that for a moment. So listening to that through the Cobweb, it's S9 or minus 75 dBm. Switch it over to the Wellbrook Loop. Okay, it now goes down to about 115 dBm, and it's a lot quieter. If I turn on the RF gain, yeah, okay, that's a lot better. And we can actually affect this by turning up the automatic gain control. So going back to the Cobweb, RF gain is off. But you'll see, this is what I'm looking at, the signal to noise ratio appears greater here on the Cobweb than it does on the Wellbrook Loop. And I always expected the signal to noise ratio on the Wellbrook Loop to be a lot bigger. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm hoping that there are people watching this that can actually say, yeah, Mike, that is right, and you're expecting too much from it. Or there are people watching this that can say, but if you do this, Mike, it will be a lot better. Hi to everybody that's just joined me, by the way. So okay, let's just try something else. Let's go to 40 meters. Okay. Now I know that I've got a very noisy station, and as I've showed you earlier on, I can't control the noise in my environment. My neighbours have got solar panels and all these kind of things. I can't change that. It's just what I've got to put up with. So this is on my dipole. It's fairly resonant. If I just show you here, okay, you know, I've got a very decent match. This is without any tuners or anything like that. This is literally a resonant 40 meter dipole wire antenna. And you'll see my noise floor is quite high. You know, sometimes it's peaking, well, there it just peaked S35, but on average it's around about S8. If I now switch over to the Wellbrook Loop, great, it dies down to, you know, literally just a touch under S3. But all the signals have gone as well. So, you know, that kind of negates the whole point of having a receive-only antenna. Again, I can switch on the RF gain, which does make signals stand out. But you could actually argue that you're actually receiving more with the RF gain switched off and having it on antenna 1. Let's see if we can find some weak signals that we can try and bring in. Okay, so we've got a signal. Let's switch over onto the Wellbrook. No signal. So yeah, it's kind of having the opposite effect. You've literally just lost the signal. I thought it would make the signal stronger. Okay, let's switch over onto 80 meters. Again, really noisy. Horrible. Let's just see what the tune's like. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in the ATU. Okay, so I've just brought in the ATU. Let's try the Wellbrook Loop. Yeah, certainly quietened it down, but we've got no signals. So, yeah, that's kind of where I am at the moment. Again, we can turn the RF gain on, so some signals pop up. But there's no signals. So there you go. As I say, I don't think it would have been showing the higher bands. That's quite a quiet signal. Okay, let's switch over to the Wellbrook Loop. Disappears. So there you go. Has anybody got any suggestions on what I might try? Because I'm kind of losing my patience, to be honest. I'm willing to try anything. So if anybody's got any suggestions, feel free, type them in the box and I'll give it a go. Over to you guys. Hello to everybody, by the way. Special big hi to Stuart. And right, do you not need to turn the knob on the white box on the loop? There is no box. There is no knob. Let me just show you another picture of it. Where's that gone? Oh, I know. Right. Okay. So, okay. Right, so that thing there is a sealed, I don't know, sealed thing. There's no adjustment. There's nothing at all that you can adjust. So basically, from that connection, that BNC patch lead goes off to a box which has got an amplifier in it, which is powered, and that's it. There's no switches, nothing. So literally, that patch lead goes off to this metal box. The metal box then plugs into your radio, and it's also powered with 12 volts, and that's it. So yeah, that's. Let me just see, just for reference, just in case this helps in any way. I'll bring up the instruction booklet for this particular thing. So let me just drop that over here. There you go. So yeah, this is the actual model that I've got. It's a balanced, low impedance magnetic loop. What else can I tell you that it says? Low noise floor. It's been engineered to increase the long wave and medium wave signal to noise ratio by up to 10 dB. Improve long wave and medium wave and short wave reception. A very low amplifier noise floor is achieved by dynamically decreasing the JFET source, don't know what that is to be honest, to a fraction of an ohm. So there you go, that's the actual product anyway. It's called, it's a Wellbrook active loop antenna, ALA 1530LN. And as you can see, they're not cheap. I didn't pay that. I bought it second-hand. And again, that's a big part of my question, because I don't know whether it's actually doing what it should be doing. For all I know, it could be faulty. Let's have a look. Okay, so the loop, you're quite right, actually, Chris. The loop is directional. However, it's actually nulls the noise. So typically, what you do is you turn it to null noise, not necessarily to get a stronger signal, because if you can imagine HF signals, they're all very, very mixed up when they hit your antenna, so it doesn't really matter which way it's pointing. It's not like having a Yagi, for instance. But if you imagine, if this picture, that picture there, so it receives on the direction of the coil. So, for instance, this one, it would receive, let's say, signals from the left and the right and the top, but it wouldn't receive them from the front and back. That's where it nulls out the noise, let's say. So, you know, if I had localized noise coming from my house or the neighbour's house, for instance, if I turned it round, then potentially I could null out that noise. And yeah, Martin, it's receive only. Hence the reason why on here on the screen you can see this is my receive antenna, the Wellbrook Loop, and this is my transmit antenna, the Cobwebb. Let's just switch it over to 15 meters just to give you an idea. Okay, 15 meters. This is on the Cobwebb. So receive and transmit are the same antenna. But if I switch over to the Wellbrook Loop to receive, you can see that the noise floor drops, but equally so does all of the signals. So if we go to a weak signal, let's say for instance there's one just there. Trying to find it. Right, it's just about there. It's right on my noise floor. And if I drop that over onto the Wellbrook Loop now, okay, number one, it's just disappeared. If I now bring in the RF gain, yeah, I can just about hear it with my headphones on, just about. But it's definitely not as strong as on there. And again, you know, I can use the automatic gain control to a certain extent, but that's not going to help bring in that weak signal over my noise floor. So there you go. Anybody else got any suggestions or questions? Or because on Facebook I've reached out, there's a specific group for loop receive antennas, and I've posted a few videos and a few photos, and so far the feedback is it's doing what it should, but I don't see how it can be, because it's worse. You know, here I am on the Cobwebb on 15 meters, and yet on the Wellbrook Loop literally most of the signals just disappear. So there you go. You know, as I say, I'm really appreciative of everybody showing an interest and joining this live stream, but I'm struggling. I really want it to work, to be honest. You know, if I could, for instance, 40 and 80 is just a nightmare for me. So if I go on to 40 meters now, which is there, this is using the same antenna to receive and transmit. This is on the wire dipole. And what I was really hoping was that I would flick over to the Wellbrook Loop, the noise floor would drop down, brilliant, but also the received signals are dropping down. And the only way I can actually make any sense out of this is to turn on the RF gain. So you would argue that that is giving me that signal to noise ratio gain that I was hoping for, but I don't know whether that's the right answer, to be honest. Again, if I go back to the wire dipole, turn off the RF gain, try and find a weak signal. Let's just change the display intensity so I can actually see it. Right, let's find a weak signal. I think there must be a fair bit of lightning around. Okay, there's a signal there. There's a weak signal. Okay, so he's peaking S7. Yeah, minus 85 dBm.
All copy there.
And the Irish station that he's talking to is a little bit stronger. Switching it over onto the Wellbrook Loop, noise floor drops down to below S3, which is brilliant, but the signal's disappeared. Put on the RF gain.
Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So now you can actually, you know, if you gave a signal report based on that, you was going to give him S7, but now he's S1. Okay, fair enough, they've stopped transmitting, but you saw it. So there you go. Anybody got any ideas before I close down? I'll be using this recording, hopefully to post it onto the Loop Facebook group so that they can see exactly what I've tried. There you go. Anybody got any suggestions before I close?
6040 CQ, Echo India 5 South Julie Bravo. 6040 CQ. Echo India 5 South.
I'll just try and work this station. Mexico 0, X-ray, Mexico X-ray. So again, weak station. But definitely easier to hear on the wire antenna than the Wellbrook Loop.
And we're located here in County Cork, so right on the south part of the country here, Andy. Running just about 200 watts here from homebrew solid state amplifier. And
anyway, okay.
G7
I'll close it down there. I don't want to make the video too long, to be honest. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to catching you all soon. Bye-bye for now. Oh, hold on, wait there, let's have a look. A dummy load receives more. Strange, so the narrow band is driven by software. I don't understand what that means, sorry. Normally, the capacitor is making adjustments for the frequency. I'm really sorry, Martin. I don't understand what you're trying to say. Capacitor in what? Yeah, I appreciate you trying to help, Martin, but I just don't understand what you're saying. A dummy load, okay. Strange, so the narrow band is driven by the software. Don't understand, sorry. I'll hold on for a couple more seconds, Martin, just in case you can elaborate a little bit on that. No? Okay. Right, I'll close down. Thanks a lot for your time, everybody, and yeah, really appreciate it. Take care.